Hey guys, it's Amanda again. I'm making my third YouTube video and I'm a little like, okay, I'm running behind. It was supposed to be one a month at the end of the month and it's October 1st, that's okay. I competed 3 out of 4 weekends in September and I'm gonna talk about those real quick. Personal life, I'm teaching my kid how to drive and it's been a lot of fun and she's almost 16, so yay. Okay, so the first weekend that I competed, me, Jessica, and Phil from Greasy Who Met in Westville, we went to Bloomington, Illinois. Jessica had some great matches. She did gi and no gi brackets. I did just a gi bracket and I chose to go up in weight class. So normally I do under 130. This time I did above 130 and it was elite, so it could be anybody above 130 that is a purple, brown, or black belt, and I ended up with 3 brown belts that were all larger than me. But it was a fun experience and I learned some things that do work for me and that don't work for me. So then I took a weekend off and then I also went and did a tournament with Fuji. So I worked for Fuji and then I also competed that day. We had a bracket that was supposed to be really good, but people kept dropping out of it. So one thing, people start to drop out of brackets if they see that Cassidy's in their bracket because she's so good, but she's a 14-year-old prodigy. She's gonna go places, so she needs matches, right? Another girl decided that one just didn't show up, and one decided after her gi matches she was done, her arm hurt too bad. So then Cassidy got to go against me and the other purple belt, but me and the purple belt didn't get to go against each other. So hopefully she'll show up and come find me at another competition. Then right after that weekend was this past weekend, which was IBJJF St. Louis. One goal I had for myself this year was to just win one IBJJF match. I've never done that, and I've competed on several IBJJF tournaments, and like this summer I went to, or this past year, because I think Atlanta wasn't even the summer, but I did go to Atlanta, Georgia to compete for IBJJF, and I did also go to Orlando to compete for IBJJF. There may have been another one. Normally I do Chicago, but I didn't do Chicago this year. So this weekend was super awesome. I was excited. I just had to win one match to get gold, and I did. And it was the first time I ever went into a match thinking, if I do this, here's my path. If I do this, here's my path. So when I go into a match, I really like to feel what I'm gonna do. So for example, if I feel like they're going to pull, I want them to pull so I can pass. If I feel like that they are gonna try to take me down, I probably wanna pull first or try my takedown setups. So I've been working the Sumi Geishi a lot. It's just been there naturally for me, and I really wanted to push into her and her push in to me so I could flip her over, but it wasn't quite there. So I sort of felt like she was about to pull, and I was kind of like in this battle of my brain for the 2 times that I had to decide if I was going to pull or see if she was pulling, and I decided to pull both times. Actually, no, I pulled once, and then I ended up sweeping her, and then we got reset. I swept her out of bounds, so we got reset standing, and so then I had to decide again. Am I going to pull, or am I going to try and work for my sweep? So she ended up doing that collar drag on me. Everybody catches me in this collar drag, and I don't want to get caught in that anymore. So once she did, I kind of landed on my knees and my hands a little bit and was able to come all the way around to start to take her back, but then I started to lose the back, and then I was able to come up to mount and finish her with my favorite submissions, one of my favorite submissions. So I ended up all the way in mount, and I got my points, and then she tried to butt me off and she took half guard, but half guards, I love half guard, so I was okay with it. I got my points. I was like, okay, I'm either gonna pass and get more points, or I'm going to take the back, or I'm gonna submit her from here. And my go-to is usually to submit them from there. So I attempted. I felt like that the bread cutter choke was there, so I was starting to set it up, and then I was gonna try to pop my leg out, and then I felt like that her arm was kind of tucked pretty good. She had the underhook, and a lot of the times when they start to get the underhook, they'll start to take our back. And JW Wright taught me a really cool trick. They start to take that underhook, and so you still try to start to pass, but then you set up your Ezekiel choke, and either the pass or the Ezekiel choke is gonna happen most of the time. Sometimes you get swept while it's happening, but if the choke is good, you're still gonna choke them out after you end up on bottom instead. So in review, I've decided that I do like to compete more often than I normally had been. I really like to compete on Fuji's. I consider those kind of like a warm-up competition for my other competitions. However, I still think that it's important to make sure that I'm testing new things there and trying things that work for me there. I think it took me a really long time as a competitor to find my way in the competition world. What do I need to do? What works for me? What is my competition winning? So I love things like lasso and X guard, and I love to be on the back, but that's not always the way to win. So I had to decide and figure out what's my way to win matches, and I need to make sure that I get there. And so now I'm just gonna build on those specific things. So I really hope that I can keep doing this. So I should have at least one competition a month with Fuji. I'm not sure what else to talk about. It's almost winter, it's almost wrestling season, so I will be coaching wrestling again. Oh, one last thing that I did think was really cool. So I cross train a lot, and I have a lot of friends at other gyms as well. And when I was getting ready for competition, when I was up at the mats and I had my headphones on, I saw almost every important person just there to watch me, and it was super cool. It was kind of nerve-wracking because I was like, oh wow, I've never had this many people watch my matches. But it was the team that I compete for, it was the team that I train with all the time as well, and so it was super cool. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna look up again because I don't want to get like nerves. So I put on my headphones and I rocked out to my music, and then I went out there and I heard my coach and I heard other people coaching me. My kid's watching me now. So it was super cool. But there's also times where I have competed alone, and I don't know if my nerves change any whether I'm competing without anyone watching me or I'm competing with people watching me, because I have to get my mind right. So the most important part is how I'm showing up to the match that day. A couple of changes that I made as well, because I did do several different things this time. I took 2 full rest days, what I consider rest days. So I competed on Saturday. I didn't do anything. I trained hard on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I didn't do anything at all. I stayed home. I chilled. I maybe sat in the sauna. I don't even remember if I sat in the sauna or not. But I definitely got a ton of sleep. I had like a full 8 hours of sleep that day. Friday, all I did was basically 30 to 45 minutes of a private lesson with one of the kids that I love to help. And we did 30 minutes of her, so I just got taken down over and over and over because she's working on some cool takedowns. And then her payment for this, because I let her just abuse me, was I was going to abuse her for a little bit. So then I got to drill a couple of things that I've been working on, and really I just kind of drilled. I drilled a lot more of what I wanted to do in my matches. Once it clicked with me and I figured out I need to make sure that I'm ready for this and this, now I'm gonna drill it. So I took plenty of rounds to drill plan A, and then plenty of time to drill plan B, and I just would focus on those 2 things. I know there's a ton of other things I can add to plan A and to plan B, but I'll work on those in the meantime in between competitions. I do believe for October I'm gonna compete for St. Louis Fuji, and then I'm also going to go to Milwaukee with Fuji and compete up there. There's already a girl in my bracket, same age, same weight, same belt color, so I'm very excited for that. And then I'm considering, I try to get a match on Strange Hands Invitational, but it can be really hard to find me a match. So then I'm going to also stalk IBJJ of Kansas City and see if anyone signs up early for that, and if they do, I'll probably go there. So then I'll compete 2 days in a row. If there's anyone at that's November, so if there's anyone at the Springfield, Illinois Fuji, for me to compete against, I'll compete there, and then the next day I'll go to Kansas City and compete there if people show up, if there's anyone in my brackets. If not, I probably will not compete at all on that weekend. So we'll see. Once it becomes winter, I kind of chill out and take not as many competitions. So more time to do things. Not really. I'll just keep training. So, all right. If you have any questions, holler. In the winter, I do start posting a lot more food. So maybe next time I will make a food video or meal prep with a friend. But every other month I want to have a friend on here to chat with me. And every other month it's just going to be like a recap of me talking, and you can just listen to me talk annoyingly. So yeah, see ya.